Hey everyone, I'm Stephen Kalayjian and welcome to Back to the Futures. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday from 1:30 to 2 o'clock every Tuesday and Thursday. I'm so excited to be here. I have to tell you, phenomenal patterns. Just caught the great long on the S&Ps just now. S&Ps just ran about, I would say, roughly about 15 handles. NASDAQ futures ran about 65. But here's the trade of the day, right? And here's the trade of the day. What we're looking at here, okay, what we're looking at here is the 30-minute time frame reversed to sell on the 30-minute time frame. You can see why I called the long just recently. The 30 and the 60-minute time frames got deeply oversold. But watch this strategy right here. Do you see when the 30-minute time frames reversed here? Hey, sorry about that. Okay, so, all right. So the 30, wow, look at the S&Ps go here. Bitcoin making new highs on the day. Bitcoin was down 1,900, now up 800. Here we go. So the 30-minute time frame reversed to sell on the S&Ps, right? And it correlated with the 15-minute. That means two out of the three time frames, the 30 and the 15-minute time frames, were in sell mode, just leaving the 60 in buy mode, right? Look at this pattern. Look at this pattern right here. Okay, where are we here? So we caught this short right here on the 5-minute time frame. So when the 30-minute correlates with the 15, you look to short the first bounce on the 5-minute time frame, and there it is. S&P futures hit 6,010, dropped all the way down to 87.5, 59.87.5. That's 23 handles on the S&P futures. Unbelievable short. I want to show you what also signaled the short, okay? What also signaled the short. If I could show you here, look at the SDSs. The 15-minute time frame reversed to buy right here, okay, on the SDSs, which is the Pro Ultra Short. That gave me the ability now to say the highs are in for the day. Whatever we printed, 6,036, we caught the short on the sell divergences earlier. Then on this pullback right here, this pullback right there on the 5-minute time frame was the exact short, the inverse of the S&P, the spiders, the Qs to get short, to get short. Why? Because the 30-minute time frame reversed to sell on the spiders correlating with the 15. You short the first bounce on the 5-minute time frame. The short was confirmed with the long on the STSs. This is an absolute Picasso. Everything I teach is based upon using multiple time frames called combination theories. It's all about executing and seeing the patterns for what they are. These patterns repeat themselves as long as you can have the mindset to look at multiple time frames, the multiple indicators, and understanding the importance of using the indicators in an appropriate way and using the multiple time frames. When I saw that, boom. And then I said, I looked to buy them because the 60s, the 30s got deeply oversold. S&Ps just rallied just now from 87 up to 08. So they just ran just now 20 plus 21 handles on the S&P. NASDAQ futures just ran 70. Okay, these are phenomenal patterns. These are great trades. And these are the trades that we need to take advantage of. Also, I want to show you today looking at the 30-minute time frame on the spiders. When I got this overbought, this is another pattern, right? When I got look at this. When I got another buy here, okay, this morning, we got the long, and then this is the reason why I called the short. You can see we were making new intraday highs here at 9:30, right? That's why the S&Ps, when they push up to the 6,036 level, I said, let them have them, right? And then what happened here? I said, look at this short. Okay, you're getting overbought on the 30-minute time frame into the negative MACD. I'm telling you, it's over, right? It's over after that. You don't have a chance after that, right? It's like running into a brick wall. Everything I teach in my live stream is all predicated on divergences. Remember my 5 key conditions, right? You can have a trend, a buy reversal, a sell reversal, a correlation, and a disconnect. Those 5 are all predicated off of the 15 to 30 and the hourly charts. And then what do you look to do? You look to do what? You look to then for buy and sell divergences on both. Okay? That's exactly what you look to do. Perfect. Okay? Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right? Now, it's important to realize and understand that when you're trading the markets, you want to be able to have, the ability to have the software. That's why when I teach my live stream every single day, people all around the world in over 100 countries have my software, have the ability to see what I'm looking at, have the ability to utilize this as I'm teaching the patterns, as I'm explaining, and I'm showing and I'm guiding people on why these conditions, what I would be looking to do next. Okay, great patterns here. Okay, now Bitcoin's making new highs here, and the MACDs are non-confirming. So everything we do is all predicated on buy and sell divergences, on predicated on buy and sell divergences. Okay, it's important that you it's important that when you're trading the markets, you want to be able to recognize the power of using the multiple time frames, using the smaller time frames for entries and exits. Okay, now when you're trading, especially the index futures, Nasdaq, S&P, gold, bonds, oil, Russell, Dow futures, you need to look at what? The underlying ETFs. I've taught this to the top hedge fund managers in the world, and I will tell you that when you look at you cannot trade just the index futures alone during the U.S. session without looking at the underlying ETF. So that's why I have the continuous contracts up here. And then what do I have here? I have what? I have the underlying ETF, the spiders, along with the SDSs, and on the bigger time frames right behind me. So I already know, because the bigger time frames, once the condition is met, I don't have to look at it, I already know it. And then you just go from there. Okay? All right. What's important, what's really important is that when you're trading the markets, you need to factor in the understanding of being consistent, right? You have to have stops in place. We've seen a gigantic run up here. People are like all bulled up here. I will tell you something. I've been doing this now close to 42 years, come August 1st of 2025. I've seen every type of market you can think of, okay? But the one thing I will tell you is this. I've seen a bad tick on the ETFs where you'll see a tick like that happen and whatever. And then next thing you know, what happens, right? You go, eventually I built software where once a tick was complete, I went click and it was all done, right? And I fixed it. However, guess what? Now I saw about 6 weeks ago a bad tick on the S&P futures. Can you imagine? I've never seen a bad tick on the continuous contract. The bad tick was 65.55. Every bad tick I've been seeing in the last 25 years, the bad ticks, everything went to that tick, right? So I believe within the next 2 to 3 months, the S&P futures will hit 65.55, and then after that, God knows. S&P futures setting up now for a short on the 15. So if they push up to the 10 handle again, I would probably look to short them 10 to 15 on the S&Ps. People always ask me, how many handles can you make in a day, right? How many points can you make on a day in the S&P? Well, we didn't cap. Well, they dropped 20 and they just ran 20 down, 20 up. Even if you caught 5 and 5, right? If you're trading micros and you're trading, one thing I will tell you that I am dead against, okay? The one thing I tell you I'm dead against is what's called single lot entries. Single lot entries mean you're just buying one and then watch it go down 5 points and not adding and building a position. You have to have your stops in place. It's very, very important to have your stops in place. But you need to do what? You need to be able to do what? To raise your stops, trade into the position. If it's like, for example, let's say on that long, all right, now I called a short, okay, 99.5 up to 04.5. They pushed up to 03. Then they dropped down to like, what they dropped down to? Like 95.5. And then that was it. And then they ran again. So caught the short, down 6, 7, 8, covered the short, and then they ran back up again. So again, this is all predicated, okay? This is all predicated on what? On the understanding that when you're trading in and you're building a position, I like to do what's called pyramiding, where let's say, I'm just giving an example. You sell 1, you sell 2, you sell 4, you sell 8. If you have the capital to do that, right? If it's a micro, if you just go do 1, 1, 1, and there's no right or wrong, right? If you go 1, 1, and 1, then your average price is somewhere in the middle. But the way I pyramid, you go 1, 2, 4, 8. If you do 4 entries, you're bringing up your average price. Yes, more risk involved. However, the most important thing is that when you're trading the markets, what you want to be able to do is be as consistent as possible. You can never go wrong taking a profit. But the one thing you can't do is take small profits and big losses. That's a no-no. Okay, that's a no-no. All right. Listen, we're in great times here now, and we're seeing the markets really react here, very bold up here. About 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, I was on a show, and I called for a 2-week drop. We got the drop from the 59.55 level, 59.45, all the way down to 57.35, and then I said that's where I would be looking to buy them. After that 2-week drop, the 10 business days, look for another move up. And then when I saw that bad tick during that time period, 65.55 on the S&P, it was off to the races. And I knew we were going right back up. And it also gave me an indication of, again, I'm not talking politics, but who was going to win the election. And that's exactly the mindset that I have. Remember, I've been doing this now 41 and almost 41 and a half years. So I have a lot of intuition and a lot of, experience in the markets. But the thing that you really need to resonate with is to be able to fully understand the power of trading and being consistent, having the right tools, the right mentor, someone that's done it, trading, live trading, traded nearly 2 billion shares in his life, and to be able, and God knows how many futures contracts. But again, it's important to recognize and realize, okay, that when you're trading, you want to be able to remember it's the consistency factor. Remember my 5 keywords: consistency, discipline, right? Confidence, patience, and passion. Okay? All right. It's really vital. It's very vital, okay, that when you're trading the markets, you want to be able to do what? You want to be able to be consistent. You want to be able to trade. When we got short S&Ps there, right, earlier, okay, and they dropped, some people made 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Okay, you can't pick a top. You can't think you're going to get 20 plus handles. Now, what you could do is, some of my traders do this. They'll be short, let's say 5 or 8 S&Ps or micros, or 20 micros, some of them big. And as it's dropping, they're covering, they just keep lowering their stops, and they'll just keep what's called a runner. right? They'll keep what's called a runner. And they'll just keep lowering it, lowering it, lowering it, lowering it, lowering it, lowering it, right? Which is a great mentality, right? Which is a great mentality, okay? And that's what you have to learn to do and to recognize, okay? That's what you have to do and learn to recognize, okay? All right. And so if you're able to do that, then you're able to trade the markets effectively, and you're able to trade the markets in such a real tremendous advantageous way. See the patterns. I've been doing this now. I spent nearly 10 years of my life, 9.5, 10 years building this program. Okay. And I will tell you that these patterns repeat themselves every single day. And when these patterns repeat themselves every single day, right, you just wait patiently. That's why one of my 5 key words is patience, right? You want to be able to be patient, and to be able to trade the market effectively and to be at your best. Listen, there's no greater feeling in the world outside of, if I'm not talking family and things of that nature, or hitting the Powerball or lottery, right? But there's a great feeling that when you leave each and every day in front of the screens that you sit in front of, guess what? That you pulled money out of the market and you didn't give it back. I've heard war stories after war stories after war stories of people. Guys up 9,000 and is down 2,000 a day. $9,000. Some people don't even make that in 3 to 4 months, right? I mean, you can't lose reality, right? You're up 9,000, you give back 2. I mean, you're down 2. That's $11,000 reversal. That's insane, right? That guy Crazy Eddie. It's insane, right? How in God's creation can you be up 9? You can stop, right? You can stop, or you say to yourself, "I'm going to risk 3, and I'll still be up 6 on the day." People don't do that. I don't get it. It's like hoopolitis, one without a brain between their ears. Like, how do you do that? How do you do that? Right? So it's really important, okay, that it's okay. People make mistakes. I make mistakes, but my mistakes, are maybe getting in a little bit too early. But, I'm building a position, and that's okay because I know the math. I know the symbols. I know the strategies, and I know what? The pattern, right? I built this based upon the fact that one day I said to myself, something? The markets have no different than me, right? S&Ps, I would look to cover shorts 08 to 10.5 if you're short. I said, the markets are no different than me. I said to my friend, he goes, "What do you mean, Stevie?" I said, "I have a DNA, and I think the markets have a DNA, right? The market should have a DNA here, right?" And he said, "Yeah, I guess you're right." And I said, "I know I'm right, okay? I know I'm right. But the one thing I will tell you, okay, is that when you're trading the markets, okay, you want to be able to do what? Again, to be consistent. If you're consistent each and every day, if you're consistent in the ability to take money out of the market, remember, if you can make $500 a day, shouldn't be hard, right? If you trade the right patterns. If you can make $500 a day, what happens? That's $125,000 a year if you trade the whole year, right? But one thing that you need to focus on, okay, is you cannot have small gains and huge losses. As I always tell people, in the 5 business days, you can't make 500. I'm just giving an example: 500, 500, 500. 1,500, lose 3,000, lose 2,000. You're down 3,500 for the week. How many more? Unless you hit the lottery and you got 800 million in the bank, I don't know what any. It's not. I don't know who can tolerate that, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Bitcoin making new highs here, almost 89,000 on Bitcoin here. Okay, so what we want to focus on. And what we need to focus on, okay, is understanding how the markets work, okay? Now that the spiders reversed to buy on the 15 with the Qs, that means the lows are in for the day. So that 87.5 low, the lows should be in for the day. Now I'll be looking to buy pullbacks on the 5-minute time frames here. Okay. And you know, what's really important is if anybody has any questions, you can text me or call me at 914-500-7484. I do hold a live stream each and every day from 9 to 4. And I teach people everything there is to know about the trading world, pattern recognition, and the strategies I've created, okay? And everything is based upon pure mathematics, and it's really a really great way to learn. And those of you who don't, I'm hopefully that in the next 6 months, do automated signals, automated alerts, so people can get this and see this for what it is, okay? Let's see here. Now, Bitcoin's making new highs again. You got sell divergences here. So you got to be really prudent, and you got to be really careful here, okay? One thing I will tell you, okay, that's important is that when you're trading the markets, okay, when you're trading the markets here, let me just look at something here. Just give me a second. Let's see here. Okay. Let me just switch this over here. Okay. When you're trading the markets, you want to be able to have the, like I said, the proper tools in front of you, and okay. So when you, like I said, when you're trading the markets, what you want to be able to do is to recognize. So why did I call the long there? I called the long because I saw the 60-minute and the 30-minute time frames deeply oversold. The algorithms are still bullish on the 60-minute time frame, so I knew that I felt that the market was pretty ripe. Okay, to the market was pretty ripe. Okay, to market was pretty ripe to be bought there. Okay, to be bought there. Okay. Let's see here now. Okay. When you recognize the patterns as I have here, okay, you want to be able to recognize, like right now, I know based upon pure mathematics that the spiders reverse to buy on the 15-minute time frame right here. Okay, that the spiders reverse to buy on the 15-minute time frame right here. Okay, right here, that means that the lows are in for the day. Right, that the lows are in for the day, and I'm comfortable in saying now I'm going to look to buy pullbacks. Even though the S&Ps are down 19, the Nasdaq's down 15. The Qs reverse to buy. That means that the Qs are still now, but the 15s are getting overbought, so I'm going to look for a pullback first, and then I'm going to look for a long. Okay, I'm going to look for a pullback, then I'm going to look for a long. Okay, all right. It's important. Okay, let's see here. It's important to recognize these, these buy and sell divergences. So if you see here on the 5-minute time frame, you see these positive MACDs. So the next pullback on the 5-minute, I would be looking to buy here on that. Okay, I would be looking to buy that on the first pullback there. Okay. What else? Does anybody have any questions here at all? We got 6 minutes to go in the game until the show is over. I'll be back this Thursday at 1:30. It gives me such great joy to be here each Tuesday and Thursday. The knowledge I have, I want to be able to shine and show it to you all, because my legacy depends on your success, right? And that's really, really important. That's really, really important. What else? What else here? Let's see. Tesla just ran 5 off the lows. Nvidia, that was beautiful, off the 15. So, like, I know you may not trade Nvidia, but for example, but the pattern repeated itself. I got a sell reversal on the 15-minute time frame, but the 30 and 60-minute time frames on my indicator 4 are still bullish, right? Are still bullish. So what happened was there, okay, is that I bought the pullback on the 15, even though the 30 and the 60 are still bullish. I caught that long. NVIDIA just ran from 146.65 up to 148.20. So roughly it just ran it just ran about $1.60 just now on NVIDIA just now. Okay. There you go. Yes. S&P is up 30 off the lows. Up 30. Up 30. Up 30. Okay. Up 30. All right. So now what we want to do is we'll look for pullback. The 15s are getting overbought. Okay. The 60-minute time frame and the 30 is still turning up. So I'll look to buy a pullback here on the S&Ps and Nasdaq futures. Okay. What else? Coinbase, Bitcoin's up 1,000, over 89,000 on Bitcoin right now, up 89,000 on Coinbase, on Bitcoin. Okay. Does anybody have any questions here at all? Anybody have any questions here? Okay. Anybody have any questions? All right. There goes the S&Ps. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. S&Ps just rallied now from 87 up to 19. 32 handles on the S&P there. There goes Coinbase. Bitcoin just reversed to buy on the 60-minute and the 30-minute. Okay, Microsoft's making new highs here. NVIDIA. Okay, we got about 3 minutes to go here. Again, for the rest of the afternoon, the 15s are getting overbought, so I would probably short these here 18.5 to 23.5. Then I would look for a pullback. Okay, and then on that pullback, I would look to go long. Same thing with Microsoft making new highs. Microsoft's making new highs right now. And it looks like I think Amazon's close to making new highs here. Okay. All right, everybody. If anybody has any questions, you can text me at 914-500-7484. Again, I'll see you here Thursday at 1:30 on Back to the Futures. Great session. I hope you're learning how to be able, you need to use the multiple time frames, especially the underlying ETFs during the U.S. session. And again, I hope all of you the best. Please, every day from 9 to 4, I stream. You can reach out to me and hope to see you there. Have a great day, everybody, and God bless you and God bless the United States. Have a great day.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.